Okay, so let's just jump right in. What if the biggest thing holding you back in life wasn't your job, or your money, or your circumstances, but your own thoughts? Today, we're going to dig into an ancient secret that's all about breaking those mental bonds that keep us stuck.
And this incredible promise, it comes from a sage named Patanjali, who lived, get this, over 2,000 years ago. His whole deal was this: when you get truly, deeply inspired, your thoughts literally shatter their own prisons. So let's really unpack what that even means.
Patanjali talked about living an inspired life. And that word is so cool, right? In spirit. It literally means living in harmony with your true self, your source. And he said this isn't just some feel-good idea. No. He said it unlocks these incredible rewards that can completely change your world.
So he actually laid out 6 specific rewards. I mean, we're talking about things like transcending your limitations and discovering talents you didn't even know you had. It's pretty wild. Each one kind of builds on the one before it, and this is the key, they all start with that very first one, that foundational piece, your thoughts breaking their bonds. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today.
Okay, so let's get real. What does that actually mean, breaking your bonds? What even are these bonds that are trapping our thoughts? And what does it feel like when they finally snap? Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, at its heart, breaking the bonds is all about this. It's when your thoughts finally line up with what you want. You know that inner battle, that voice that says you can't? That stops. The self-sabotage just ends. It's like your mind and your heart are finally on the same team, rowing in the exact same direction.
So the big question is, how do we get there? How does this alignment happen? Well, it all comes down to what the source material calls the energy of our thoughts. Think about it like this. Every single thought you have carries a certain vibe, a certain frequency, and that frequency is basically a magnet, determining what you pull into your life. And you can pretty much put all our thoughts into 2 big camps. On one side, you've got resistance. This is all the doubt, the fear, the I can'ts that basically build a wall around what you want. And on the other side, you've got allowing. That's the faith, the knowing, the feeling of possibility that just swings the door wide open.
The source material has this great visual for it, the ladder of belief. Picture it. Way down at the bottom rung, you've got the lowest vibe thought you can have. It's impossible. Then you start to climb a little. Okay, it's really difficult. Then maybe, it could happen for other people, but not me. And you keep climbing until you get to the very, very top, the highest vibration. And what's that thought? Pure, simple knowing. It's on its way. And listen, this is not some new agey thing. This idea is ancient. That old proverb, as a man thinketh, so is he, that's not just a nice little saying. It's meant to be taken literally. The dominant energy of your thoughts, your default spot on that ladder, is what actually shapes who you are and the world you see around you.
Okay, so enough of the theory. What does this vibrational mismatch actually look like in real life? Let's talk about how this plays out in the day-to-day stuff. Okay, here's a perfect example from the source material. Imagine a photographer, and she has this big desire, a high vibration goal. She wants to be rich, to have abundance flow into her life. And there's nothing wrong with that. That desire is a top of the ladder, a number 10.
But here's the kicker. Almost immediately after having that amazing desire, she thinks, yeah, but I'll never get rich being a photographer. Boom! That thought is a rung number 1. It's way down at the bottom. See the clash? She's sending out 2 totally opposite signals, and that contradiction just blocks the very thing she wants.
There's an amazing analogy for this. It's like looking for a parking spot. If you pull into a packed lot, already believing there are no spots, this is impossible, your mind is now bonded to that idea. It's like you have blinders on. You will literally not see the person with their keys out walking to their car right in front of you about to pull out. Your belief filters your reality. And what this all boils down to is a really fundamental choice. What kind of world do you believe you live in? Is it a hostile universe where everything's a struggle and you have to fight for every scrap? Or is it a friendly universe, a place that's actually conspiring for you, where good things can and do flow your way?
Even Einstein was onto this. He famously said that the most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe. And that's because it's a total self-fulfilling prophecy. Whichever one you choose to believe, you'll find evidence for it everywhere.
Okay, so this is the big one. How do we actually do this? How do we make that shift and consciously choose the friendly universe? Well, the source material gives us this really powerful tool called thinking from the end.
And the shift is actually super simple, but it's profound. It's about what you look for. You stop scanning your life for all the evidence that what you want isn't here yet. Instead, you flip the script. You start actively looking for any little sign, any tiny clue that what you want is on its way. And this is the most powerful thought you can have. Just this one little phrase. It's on its way. Making that your default thought, oh man, it changes everything. You move from a feeling of lack, of I want, to a feeling of joyful, confident anticipation. You're not just hoping anymore, you are expecting.
So thinking from the end means you start acting as if it's already done. The source speaker shares this awesome example. When he decides he's going to write a new book, you know what he does? He makes a fake book cover for the book he hasn't even written yet, and he puts it on his desk. So every single day he's looking at the finished product, treating it like it's already a done deal.
And that brings us right back to the beginning, to that one huge question. What this ancient wisdom is really telling us is that the universe isn't deciding if it's going to be friendly or hostile to you. You are deciding what kind of universe you live in. That choice, it is, and it always has been, completely yours.